Hi guys, so today we're going to be going over some 7.3a key facts. And so that'll be our double angles and our half angles. So let's start with our double angles. So really, let's just talk about the formulas themselves. So sine 2x, you can see that this is a double angle because if x is supposedly our angle, it's being doubled by 2. And so the equation for that is 2 times sine of x times cosine of x. And I will point out, you see that this is 2x and this is x. So they are different angles that you are using in your actual formula, but yeah. Cosine of 2x actually has 3 different equations. So cosine 2x actually has 3 different formulas. Now, no formula has more importance than the other. They all mean the exact same thing. They're all going to get you the same answer. There's just different variants of one another. So if you truly wanted to, you could pick one, choose to remember that, and not worry about the other two. Or if you want to memorize all 3, you could, but I'll just up to personal preference. So the first one is cosine squared of x minus sine squared of x. Which is this is the one that is my favorite out of them all, but that is just a personal preference. And then we have 1 minus 2 sine squared of x, and then 2 times cosine squared of x minus 1. Pretty simple. And then we have tangent double angle is equal to 2 tangent of x all over 1 minus tangent squared of x. So if you wanted to know, this is not something you particularly need to memorize, but it does help some people with having to memorize less. Double angle formulas can actually be driven by applying some formulas. So if you think about it, sine of 2x is equal to sine of x plus x. So if you use your sine angle formula, you would get sine of x times cosine of x plus cosine of x times sine of x, which is just 2 times sine of x times cosine of x, because they're the same. Whoa. I got carried away. Sorry about that. Um, it's just 2 sine of x cosine of x. So that's a way. And then kind of same thing with our cosine. Um, you can take this formula and then derive the other two using Pythagorean identity. So using our cosine squared of x plus sine squared of x. And so those are basically, this is just kind of long-winded ways of if you didn't want to memorize the other two, you can derive them knowing some past info. All right, so let's go into our half angle formulas. So sine half angle, sine u over 2 is equal to plus or minus, it's important, get to that later, plus or minus the square root of 1 minus cosine of u over 2. Remember, note that this is u and this is u over 2, so they are different angles. Our cosine double angle form, or not double, half angle, is cosine u over 2 is equal to plus or minus the square root of 1 plus cosine of u over 2. And then our tangent half angle, once again, also has 2 different formulas. Both are right. You can choose one to remember. If you prefer one, that's fine. They're both equally the same. So we have 1 minus cosine of u over sine of u, or sine of u over 1 plus cosine of u. And note that this does not have the plus or minus in it. So the choice of whether picking the plus or the minus in front of your answer depends on the quadrant that our half angle is going to lie in. So if our half angle, let's say, was 75 degrees, you would pick the plus because all angles, all 75 degrees is in quadrant 1. And remember, all trigonomic functions are positive in quadrant 1. Let's say we had cosine of 135. 135 is in quadrant 2. And remember, cosine is negative in quadrant 2. So you would have to put the minus sign in front of because it's negative. So that's just how you would interpret that. And then let's just show some examples that might make some sense. So let's say you're given the half angle is equal to 22.5 degrees. If you want to find the actual angle you would use in your formulas, all you would do is just get this 2 out of the denominator by multiplying 2 on either side, and that would get you x is equal to 45 degrees. So 45, let's say it was like tangent of 22.5, you would use 45 degrees in the actual problem itself. So let's say they gave you tangent of 15, told you to use half angles. So that is telling you that your half angle is 15 degrees. To figure out what angle you actually need to use in your equation, just multiply 2 on either side, and you get x is equal to 30 degrees. Same thing, it's, let's say, give you sine 5 pi over 12, use half angle formulas. Then, same thing, just in radian mode. So you still take your 2 and multiply it to the other side. And so that would get you 10 pi over 12, which simplifies to 5 pi over 6. So then 5 pi over 6 is what you would put in here. And so then you would do like 1 minus solve for cosine of 5 pi over 6, and then so on and so forth from there. And so that's all I have for this one. I hope this helped. Thanks.